Hi guys, welcome to another Learn Electronics Repair video. I have a laptop here. I haven't done any laptops for a while. I have a few around, so let's have a play with this one. This is an Acer i7. I'm not sure what this thing actually is. I'm just get rid of this. You don't want to be seeing that license number, do you? I think it's a Windows 7 license. Acer Aspire upside down 5943G. So that's what it actually is. I have a 5 amp universal power adapter with this, so we can plug it in and a little red light comes on. And I can hear the hard drive and the fans come on. So I can kind of like hear it come on, but I haven't got anything on the screen. No picture, not even sure I've got any backlight on the screen, to be honest. Yeah, it's just made another little noise. So that's the optical drive. Might even have a disc in it. There's no disc in it, but I can hear something making a noise. Fans are on, but no picture. It's got a VGA and the HDMI connector on, so let's set the VGA on there. Let's see if we get anything on the monitor externally from it. Just put the monitor on. No, there's nothing there, but I'll try and see if I hold this button and shut it down. Well, I might just unplug it. It stopped. I think it might have stopped, you know. Let's press the button again. Oh, I can hear it doing something. So there's nothing on the screen, there's nothing on the monitor. Oh, hang on, the blue light's coming on the monitor. Oh! Okay, so we have that on the screen. It's asking me to start Windows normally, I think. So obviously it was loading Windows and crashed, so yeah, we have some sort of RAM problem, I think. But there's no picture on the screen itself, so maybe do we have more than one problem here? I'm not sure. It's gone blank. A bit bigger. Oh, yeah, lovely. So that's what we've got. Windows 7 Pro. I can just make out at the bottom there. Yeah, and it boots up. Well, yeah. So that's what's wrong with it. It's got a HDMI in the side. I don't know whether that'll make any difference. Let's unplug that. Still nothing on the onboard screen. See if we can find the HDMI cable. Yeah, I've got it. And plug that into it and see if that does the same, basically. Right, yeah, it's in. So I'll set the monitor to HDMI. And we don't have anything. Well, I'll give it a few seconds, see if it finds it. Oh, no, we get no signal on HDMI. Let's go back to the VGA again. Ah, so the screen's gone black. Let's put the monitor back on and we'll choose VGA. Okay. And now we don't seem to have anything. Oh, we do. Okay, so we get like a horrible picture on the VGA, but nothing on HDMI and nothing on the built-in screen. That's interesting. You would think if it was faulty RAM, video RAM, it would be the same on all of them. Anyway, let's open this up. Maybe take the hard drive out so we can just get to the BIOS screen. We don't want to be repeatedly switching this on and off or having to just switch it off when Windows is running. And let's see if we can make any sense out of it. I have it opened up. The hinges on this effectively are falling apart, all down this side, there's nothing to mount them down to. The same as this side. You can probably see the whole thing's wobbling around here as well. This is the power button which comes down to the board here and the power socket. So I think we can get the motherboard out of this, and then let's try it again with an external monitor. In fact, before we do that, let's just try maybe sitting this cable on the internal screen for that matter. Let's just have a quick look to see what it does, and then if nothing, I'll take this board out and we'll see if we can get the graphics working externally. I suspect this has probably got a number of different faults. It was brought into me by Handy Andy, and I seem to recall he mentioned he'd bought it as spares or repair from somewhere. So I think we've got like a number of issues on this one, but let's see if we can do anything with it. I mean to say as well, the fact a lot of this is held down with Kapton tape here and there doesn't inspire me with a great deal of confidence, and a lot of these ribbon cables are very buckled up and bent. Probably not broken, but certainly, yeah. What have you brought me, Andy? Okay mate, thanks for that. Let's see what I can do with it. I have much the same problem as before, so nothing on the screen. I'm not even sure the backlighting is working, and then all sorts of garbage on the external monitor. I still have the hard drive attached at the moment. I'm going to disconnect that so I can boot it, at least just get maybe to the BIOS rather than corrupting the hard drive if it isn't already corrupted. Yeah, we're in Windows again. Yeah, I'm sure I don't have any backlight on this. I'm also just trying the trick of shining the torch into the screen and see if I can see anything on the display. And I've tried resetting the connector with the power off and that didn't help. But I don't see anything here. And the same, I don't get any output on the HDMI. I've tried again. So this screen doesn't seem to be working at all, either backlight or display. I don't have a screen tester as such. But I'll see if I can get to the bottom of the problem with the corrupted display on the VGA. If I can't get rid of that problem, there's probably no point trying to figure out what the other problem is. But I have a suspicion this has been put together out of bits of other laptops, is the honest truth. That's not the first time I've seen that either from stuff Andy brings in. Let's get a motherboard out and let's see if we can see anything further. I lifted this off, but there's nothing underneath there that we can do anything with really. So all the chips are on the other side of the board. We'll have to get the motherboard out, but we can still test it, you know, just the motherboard on the bench, as long as you connect some power to it. Just figure out what's holding this in here, and then we can endeavour to get it out of the machine. Something down here is holding it in place. I'll just mention, I'm still trying to get this out of here. I've taken that off now. I thought there might be some screws underneath, but there isn't. But I mean, this is like, it's clearly damaged here. We've got more broken plastic here, and I just think this thing's been like thrown together, to be quite honest. I can't imagine you have so many damaged parts of the board really. I have the motherboard out there, so we can start this up. It's running, which you can see the blue LEDs are on. I have the external monitor attached, the internal one's disconnected now, and let's see if we're still getting this mess on the screen. I mean, at the moment it's black, to be quite honest. Oh yeah, it's there. So I'm guessing this is the GPU under here. I'm interested to see if I kind of like push on the board and start it. Maybe it'll do something different. Let's just disconnect the power, put the power back on. I'll switch it on and put some pressure on here. Has it switched on? No, it didn't switch on. Let me just have an intermittent connection on the power by the looks of it. That's on. Let's just put some pressure on the GPU and see whether that has any effect. We've got the blue lights come on the monitor. And we don't have a picture actually. Looks like it's gone off again actually, that's interesting. Just by doing that, I'll just get it so I can actually keep some pressure on it. And switch it on again. See if it powers up. No. Oh, well, whatever that did, it doesn't seem to want to come out all now. No. That's interesting. Make sure I have a good connection there. Yeah, it's on again now. It's like I've got some intermittent connection. Let's put some pressure against the GPU. Let's see. Yeah, I just got garbage on the screen again. So that's not helping. I've tried putting pressure on the GPU and pressure on the various RAM chips while I start this up to see whether or not it can actually make any effect, but it doesn't seem to make any difference at all. So there's a couple other things I'll try with this. One is that the socket, the CPU seems to be in a socket, so let's just reset that just in case that is somehow related to the problem. I'll just flex this a little bit while we try it again. And the other one is to let's figure out which is the supply rails to the RAM. So we should have like VRAM and like a VREF, which would be half of the VRAM voltage. Let's see if those look okay, if we can figure them out. So the easiest one of those to do first is going to be to remove the heatsink and just reset the CPU. So I'll do that first. This is the CPU. It's an i7 mobile of some sort. The chip, the GPU, is an ATI Radeon, and I had to look it up to see what it was. So it's a HD 5850. I think it's 1 gig. There's 4 more RAM chips on this side of the board as well. I mean, we can just try this, but I don't think it'll make any difference. So we'll just, it came out easy enough. And it looks not much dust or anything. It'll just give it a little quick clean. We can just tighten this back up again. Just do a bit of pressure on it. Okay, so we've tried that. I'll put a bit of heatsink compound on, put this back together and see, but I don't suspect that will make any difference while I did that, to be honest. But yeah, let's see. You never know your luck. Well, as you can see, it didn't make any difference. I didn't really think it would. So we still have this problem with like all these artifacts on the screen. So the next thing I think I'll try is to see if I can figure out which VRMs are working, driving the RAM. There should be 2 supply voltages, basically a VCC, VMEM if you like, which is probably about 1.5, 1.6 volts. I'm not sure what memory this is. And then there'll be a VREF. Probably the easiest way to figure that out, well, there's 2 really. One is to go around and just measure all the VRMs. I mean, there's only seems to be 1 on this side. Most of them seem to be on the other side of the board. So I can just go around and look for any sort of sensible, if you like, voltages. The other way would be to go to some of the capacitors near to the RAM, suspecting there's 2 power supply rails here, and then trying to figure out, with a continuity meter which VRM to go to. But I think the easiest way probably is to try and eliminate the unlikely ones first. So I'll just zoom this out a little bit where you can see it, and then let's give that a go. So we'll power it up if it wants to start. It's a little bit temperamental. I'm not sure if I have a bad connection on here or something. Yeah, it's starting now. Might be a little bad connection on. You can't see it, but it's the wire from the power switch. Okay. It sort of came on and went off again. I'll just try again. Yeah, it's on. Okay, let's see what we've got. So we'll go to ground. One of these should be as good a place as any. Seems to have gone off again. No, the light's on. So this is 1.07. So I doubt that's the one that I want. I'll just switch off while I turn the board over, and then let's have a look on the other side, see what we've got. Okay. Just get into position. Obviously there's going to be supply to this RAM as well. I'm thinking it's probably one of the ones over here that I want. This being the GPU by the looks of it. The other option, I guess, is just to measure the voltage on the capacitors around the memory. Actually, that might be the better way. Okay, let's try this anyway. So we'll just power it up again if we can get it running. Yeah, it came straight away that time. What we've got on this side of the board? So we've got it's still on, or have you gone off? Five volts. I've got a picture on the screen, you can see it, so it's on. 5 volts, 1.53. That was like a RAM supply of some sort. Another one up here. 0.4, 0.5. That might be like the reference voltage, you know, for the RAM. 0.52. It's a bit of a low one, whatever it is. No, it's 1.04. Okay, so we're like a 1 volt and then 0.5. I wonder if that's the VRAM and the VREF. And then after I've looked to see what this should be, if I can figure it out. Okay, we got those. Let's try measuring on the capacitors near to the RAM chips. That'll probably give us a good idea. Okay, so the video RAM's over here. I'll just zoom down a bit on this area. Okay, well, we can see there's capacitors around here. So I'm going to measure the voltage on a few of them. See if I can find these two voltages, one half of the other one. I would imagine there will be. So we'll power this up. Yeah, it came on this time, but not the fan. Just give it a few moments to see if we actually get a picture on the screen, if we can call it a picture. Yeah, I mean, it's a picture, isn't it? It's just an abstract one. Give it a moment. Yeah, it's there. Okay, so let's see what we've got. That's probably the ground side. 1.5. 1.5. So you'd expect there to be a 0.75 as well. If something's stuck in the fan, I need to just prop something under here to stop jamming the fan. There we go. Let's come back to it. So ground. We know we have the 1.5. Moment, guys. Let's see if we can find the VREF. It must be here somewhere. And I'd imagine it's probably on one of these capacitors somewhere in this area. Let's see what we got. That's the 1.5. 1.5. That's 1. 1. Ah, there it is, 0.749. So we do have it. And it is half of the VRAM. So I'm pretty sure the voltages are okay as well, as best I can determine with this. There's something else I can try, and that's just to look for ripple on the supply rails of the RAM. So I have my oscilloscope. I'll just the camera where you can see it. One moment. Okay, it's there. I'll just zoom that out a little bit as well. and then possibly move those wires out the way for you, just to be polite. Yeah. Okay, so there we are. There we go. Okay, so I've got the oscilloscope. I've clipped the ground onto the laptop ground. So I'm set at 0.2 of a volt per division, basically. So I'm on DC. If we go to the 1.5 volts, which is there, and it's just over 1.5, and I'm looking for a lot of ripple on there. I mean, there's a bit of high frequency noise, but I don't really see any great amount of ripple. And I'll just get onto the 0.7 volt. It's a little bit awkward. I'll probably have to use the magnifier just to see it first, to get onto it for you guys. Yeah, it's there. So that's the 0.7 volt. And again, 0.2, 0.4, 0.7 volt. So it's fine, and there's not a lot of ripple on that either. So I think probably the fault with this is going to be the GPU or the RAM. I figured it's probably not strange that the external HDMI isn't giving a picture. I suspect that probably only works once you're in Windows, if you select that you want to have dual display output, basically. So I've got the thermal camera now. Let's see if this will give us any idea. Anything getting hot around here, so we can have a look. Well, we have something there, but that's a little VRM. The RAM chips are all kind of here. One there, one there. You can probably just cool down a little bit. I touch them. So you can't say really that any of the RAM chips is getting hotter than the other ones. I mean, this little thing that's glowing over here is about 50 degrees or more than 60 degrees. So that is kind of hot, but there again, there's a thermal pad here anyway, so they probably meant to run quite hot. This here is going to be the CPU. So I don't see anything wrong with the RAM chips that side. Let's have a look at the other side of the board. So I'll see if I can actually get this, flick it over while it's running. But they're hard to get to this side because they're under this heatsink, and I don't really want to run it without a heatsink on the GPU. But the RAM chips are kind of like under where it's the dark colour, where the little green cross is there, and the other ones are kind of under here. So I don't again think I've got any RAM chips that are actually running notably hotter than the other ones. Again, we can just come to this side and have a look, and they all seem to be the same temperature. So that isn't giving us any real clue either as to what is causing the problem with this one, unfortunately. Well, I think I've come around to the end of the road with that one, guys, trying to figure out where the problem is with this. I'm pretty confident the voltage rails are okay. I've got 1.05, which I'm sure is for the GPU, 1.5 for the RAM, and 0.75, which is the reference voltage for the RAM. They all seem okay. I can't see any excessive amount of noise on my oscilloscope on those lines, and they seem to be stable. The HDMI, fair enough, I can accept that. It's probably activated when Windows is loaded. Why there's no picture on the screen, I mean no backlight, and kind of knowing the history of this, that it was bought as spares or repair anyway, makes me strongly suspect there's another fault on this, and quite possibly it's the screen. Why it's been put together out of a faulty motherboard and a faulty screen, I would not be surprised. However, I did say I will always make a video of subscribers' kit I'm trying to fix, and so the video is here. You guys can watch it. Maybe if you have any better ideas. I did briefly toy with the idea of getting a PCIe graphics card, HD 5850, and taking the GPU and the RAM off it and putting in this, but it only took me a few moments to realise that the GPU chip on the mobile version is not the same as the one on the actual PCIe cards. It looks completely different, and I suspect the memory is different as well, so that although it would have been very interesting, doesn't look like it's going to be a possibility. I also thought, of course, you know, Google is my friend, so I did Google for this HD 5850 artifacts, stripes on screen, and a few other keywords, but I'm not really finding anything. In fact, to be honest with you, I couldn't even find any repair videos when I sort of searched, like, you know, this GPU with the word faulty after it or repair after it. So there doesn't seem to be any obvious, well-reported issue on Google either. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this one. It's been a while since I did one that I couldn't fix or even couldn't exactly figure out what the problem was. But hey, you know, you can't win them all, guys. So, well, this is a community, so let's see what you guys think. Is there a way to fix this? What do you think? While you're having to think about that, I'll just wish you all well, and I'll say that I'll see you all soon on another Learn Electronics Repair video. Ciao for now, guys.